Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and today I am going to be going through my February TBR. So here are the 9 books that I'm absolutely getting to in February, but knowing me, I will be reading a lot more than this. So let's just get into the books. So the first book is February's pick for the Historical Hellions book club that I always participate in. And it's Till Dawn Tames the Night by Megan McKinney. This is a pirate romance. We had a pirate romance in January. I think we're gonna have another pirate romance in March. There's a theme here. I think we all just love pirate romances. So this one takes place in the Regency era, and it starts off in an orphanage in London. And then she sails the high seas to Jamaica, and then pirates come in, and then we go on to have a good time, and that's what I'm here for. So there's an audiobook, and it's on Hoopla, and that's how I'm going to read it. So I'm going to be there for the vibes, and I am definitely going to be reading it. I already took out my library hold for it because I had like a couple of the credits left for Hoopla, because it is the end of January when I am filming this, and I'm just excited to get into it. The next book on my TBR is a part of Jess's read along for Nora Roberts. This is on her Patreon. I'll link her Patreon down below if you want to join her Patreon. She's doing a monthly pick for Nora Roberts, and this one is Chase and Fire. This one I've already read, so this will be a reread. And this one is about fire jumpers in Montana. So our protagonist is Rowan Tripp, and yeah, this one is actually really good. I enjoyed it. This one, I think, let me look and see. I think my original, so this one is a really great romantic suspense. Yeah, I gave it a 4.5 stars originally, so I am absolutely going to reread this one. So I will see if it holds up to the 4.5 stars. But fire jumpers, romantic suspense, Nora Roberts, I'm all there. But yeah, absolutely, this one's a good one, and I highly recommend you join us on that live. I think she said the live show is going to be February 11th, so if you want to join us, go for it. Especially with this one. This one's good. And then for Ravished by Romance, they just announced this one, and it's the Book of Azriel. This is book 1 on the Gods and Monsters series, which is a romantasy for Pharaoh Feb, I think. Ooh, it's vampires. I am into this. This is a vampire book. This is oh, you guys, Jess and Lacey, you picked up vampire fantasy romance. I'm into this one. Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. I am into this one. We are going to be reading this, and I'm excited. A vampire book. I'm all about that. The next one on my TBR this is on one of my 12 books in 2024 that I want to read for new releases as well. This is Ashes of You by Catherine Cowles. This is book 5 in the Lost and Found series. I have been craving this book for the last couple of days. Like, I finished my TBR for January. I have finished everything that I've wanted to read in January, and I just feel stuck because I've been craving reading this book. So yesterday on the lives, they're like, well, what's on your list? I was like, everything on my list I have read. Everything that was on my list for February, a couple of the ones that were on my list originally for February, I have read. And the one that I really want to read is Ashes of You. Like, I'm craving this book. You know how you just get this craving where you just really want to read something, and it's just like, you really want to read it? This is the book I really want to read right now. It's like, I know everybody's really excited for Crescent City 3. I actually want to read this more right now. Like, that's how bad I want this book in my hands. And then I did not get the arc, which makes me sad, but I mean, it is what it is. and I'm okay with it. But I'm really, really craving this book. So I just have to wait for February 8th to come around to be able to read it. And I mean, I'll wait, but I'm really craving it right now. So I'll have to read Crescent City 3. But this is the one I'm really craving right now. So this is Lawson's book, and it's a nanny romance with a suspense plot. Like I said, this is the one that I'm really craving right now. Like, if I could get it in my hands right now, this is what I'd be listening to right now over Crescent City 3. Okay? That's how much I want this book right now. The next book that's on my February TBR, it's also on my TBR for new releases, for the 12 new releases that I want to read in 2024, is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is vampire, werewolf, vampire, come on. Yeah, I mean, I love Ali Hazelwood to begin with, but she was going to write a vampire book. Everybody kept saying was Omega Verse, and that's what I originally thought, because everybody was saying was Omega Verse. Apparently it's not, which honestly I don't care. It's a vampire werewolf book. I'm all about it. I trust Ali Hazelwood. I think it will be good. So I'm all about it. If you can hear everybody in my background, they're watching Grimm, which is one of our favorite shows, which has vampires and shapeshifters in it too. So I mean, the aesthetic noise with all these vampire pharaoh feb books that are on my list. The next book that's on my list is not that, but in December I asked everybody to pick a Q.B. Tyler book for me because I wanted to read a Q.B. Tyler book, and the one that won was Forget Me Not, and this is an amnesia, second chance, marriage and trouble romance. And I know it has cheating in it. I know Jess from Peace Love Books, this is her favorite. I know there's another one that McKay said was better. So I'm absolutely going to read this one right now. And then I think the one that McKay said was really, really good, I'll also read that one too. But this one is on my list for the 12 book backlist books that I'm going to read in 2024. This one I made sure that I was going to be on my list, and I am going to be reading it in February. Another book that's on that same list, the backlist books that I'm going to read in 2024. Funny enough, it's also part of a read-along that we're doing on Tori from Novel Life's Patreon, and I'll link her Patreon down below if you want to go check her out, her Patreon. I think the live show is in March. We are doing the Alliance series, so that's Nero, King, Dom, and Hans. I've already read King, and I've already read Nero. I have not read Dom, and I have not read Hans. So I'm going to read Dom. And this is the one that's on my backlist TBR for 2024 for the 12 books. And this one, I don't even have to... I heard it was really good. I heard it was really unhinged. Honestly, I really enjoyed the unhingedness of King. It was slightly less unhinged than Nero. Nero was nuts. It was so nuts. But at least he owned up to the fact that he was nuts, okay? I mean, he was. He owned up to the fact that he was stalking her, and he's like, yeah, this was wrong, and he knew it. And he owned up to it, so there's that. And I'll be reading Dom, which is book 3 in the Line series by S.J. Tilley in February. So, and I'm kind of really excited about that one. The next one I'm going to read, and it was just recently announced, is The Surrogate by Penelope Ward. This one, I read The Aristocrat a few years ago, and Sigmund, which is a British aristocrat, he really intrigued me in that book. I really wanted his story, and she just announced that he's getting a book, and it's coming out, I think, at like February 26th. So this is actually going to have a simultaneous release. So there's going to be an audiobook, and it's good because Jacob Morgan and Desiree Ketchum, I love them both, so obviously I'm going to be listening to it. But this one is about Abby and Sigman. It's I'm falling for the father of the baby I'm carrying. The problem is it's not my baby. The broody widower is not looking for a long-term partner. As a surrogate, the deal was I'd only be in England long enough to give birth. At first, the man seemed as pretentious as his name, Sigmund Benedictus. He and I butted heads. Sig challenged my intentions, accused me of just wanting to do this for the money. Gradually, he learned to trust me. He even became protective. Over time, our heated animosity turned into fiery chemistry. I was falling in love with him, but my time here had a limit. I needed to protect my heart from the devastatingly gorgeous older man who'd end up breaking it, Sig. When my in-laws told me they wanted to use my dead wife's eggs to conceive a grandchild, I wasn't immediately on board. They swore that on her deathbed, Brittany told them it was what she wanted, but only if I fathered the baby. Her parents insisted they would be the ones who raised it. Against my better judgment, I agreed. I vowed to keep my heart out of it, though. I'd continue to pretend it wasn't happening and live the empty, single life I became accustomed to the past 5 years since Brittany died. And despite the fact that a certain younger American named Abby Knickerbocker had awakened some things inside me that I thought were long dead, I most certainly wouldn't fall in love with a surrogate. See, I love surprise pregnancies, secret babies and stuff, but a surrogacy romance? And the fact that Sigman was such an interesting character in The Aristocrat, I'm honestly very interested in this book. So that's why I put it on my TBR. And the last book that I'm going to read, this is on my TBR for the 12 backlist books I want to read in 2024. It's Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. This is February Feb. This is a vampire book. Duh. It's a vampire book. This is in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I know this isn't everybody's favorite, but I really wanted to read this book. It's coming out on an audio book, and I generally do better with fantasy books when it's an audio, so I am pretty much okay with it. So I wanted to read it, and it's on my February TBR, so I will absolutely be getting to it. I have, 3 vampire books I'm going to be reading in February, plus all the other books I'm going to be reading. What's on your TBR? Let me know down below. And if you made it this far in this video and you want to let me know that you've been here, please leave me a pink heart emoji. And until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye!